I was looking, Bear Stearns, in a previous hour, Bear Stearns was on the list of banks that got bailed out by the Fed. But Bear Stearns had been out of business for some time. Is it safe to say that they didn't pay that money back? And now they'll never pay that money back? Let's remember all of that populist rhetoric, all that bluster, all of Obama talking about these evil Wall Street guys, how he's going to protect you from these guys. These guys are not going to make their bonus payments. They're not going to pay all those bonuses. We're going to make sure these people, we're going to send Acorn out there. We're going to disrupt their lives. We're going to make their lives miserable. And all the while, it's the rich Wall Street bankers that voted for Obama that are getting bailed out. It takes me back. I went back to my own website because I wanted to actually find the transcript of what I had said. This is back in March of 2009. This is during the first 3 months of this regime. This is when all the controversy is the AIG bailouts. I'm sure you'll recall that. Everybody had been whipped into a frenzy. Here's AIG. They'd received all this bailout money and they're still paying bonuses. And so it was portrayed that your tax dollars were paying all these AIG executives their bonuses. And AIG was in debt and they were going south. They were about to go out of business. Then we learned that Goldman Sachs got some bailout money after it had been laundered through AIG. So I came to the golden EIB microphone. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I have all of my insurance policies, most of my insurance policies with AIG. And it would be a real hassle for me if AIG went bankrupt or if they were allowed to fail. That would not benefit me at all. I'm a longtime customer of AIG. And as such, I have preferred pricing, like Chris Dodd got at Countrywide, except my preferred pricing simply because I'm a good customer, because I'm a volume buyer, not because of who I am. I have a lot of insurance. By the way, here's another thing. I would love to be treated just once. Like Chris Dodd, friend of Angelo, gets a reduction on his mortgage. People see me coming, they double the price of everything, thinking I can afford it. I never get a deal. Nobody even offers me a deal. Everybody tries to screw me or rip me off. I see other media people being given this or given that. Not me. Old El Rushbo comes along and they hit me up for twice what things cost. So here I am. I'm paying the freight at AIG. I am buying my insurance. I'm a volume buyer, so I get some little bit of a discount, but it isn't much. And if AIG went away, there'd be a lot of hassle for me. I'd have to get with my broker, sit down, start all over again. Prices wouldn't be as good. And so I said at the time, why shouldn't taxpayers bail out the company that underwrites my insurance? I mean, after all, I am paying a bunch of people's mortgages out there under Obama. Fair's fair. I mean, if I'm going to bail out your mortgage and a bunch of other people's mortgages, and stuff, and if I'm going to buy your gasoline, I'm going to buy your home heating oil and so forth, at least you can do is underwrite the company that buying my insurance or insuring all my needs. But seriously, it's hysterical to watch this, because the dirty little secret is that all these people getting all these bonuses are friends of Barack. All these bonuses were people that vote Democrat. Most of the people on Wall Street who have their homes in the Hamptons, San Francisco, Hollywood, Chicago, New York, most of these people are wealthy Democrats. A lot of this money, the AIG bonus money, the stimulus TARP money, a lot of it is going straight to people who end up kicking it back to Obama. The reason I'm telling you this is that I was prescient. This is March of 2009. Today we learned that what I was saying back in March of 2009 was, for the most part, accurate. A lot of this money, this is TARP we're talking about here, and of course at that time we thought an additional $2 trillion, that we didn't know who got it. A lot of this money is going straight to people who end up kicking it back to Obama in the form of campaign contributions or what have you. Now AIG, the bonuses, which came to light yesterday, $165 million, that's chump change. When you get down to brass tacks, it is. The vast majority of all these people getting bailouts are wealthy, filthy, rich Democrats. I'm not playing the class envy card here. I'm not doing anything of the sort. I'm just telling you who these people are getting these bailouts and getting these bonuses. The people getting this money, the companies are, for the most part, headed up by wealthy Democrats. They're huge contributors. They are donors to Democrat Party causes. And if they were in financial trouble, they were being helped out and paid back. So in a sense, Obama was buying them. He was buying their loyalty. And I said it even better in a later portion of the show. I said they've got too much debt. We're trying to prop up failures because of who's at these failures. That was the key to TARP. And that's the key to what we've now learned is $3.3 trillion. The banks, the Wall Street banks, European banks, we're trying to prop up these failures because of who these failures are. All of these people have giant homes in the Hamptons or second homes in ski resorts, and by all means, we have to keep them in their homes. Don't misunderstand. I'm not talking about all these Ivy League eggheads hanging together protecting their own. I am talking about they're all liberal Democrats. The vast majority of them are. And they're not going to go the humiliated route like Bernie Madoff. They're not going to be kicked out of their penthouse. They're not going to be kicked out of their summer places in the Hamptons or wherever. They're not going to give up their parties. They're not going to give up the social circuit. They're going to get bailed out and they're going to get saved regardless of the damage they've done to these companies and the company that have invested in them. The rest of society is going to keep on paying for this. Those who are poor or made poor decisions are going to have to participate in improving themselves despite setbacks, as we all have, or they won't succeed either. That's the way it works. But to destroy the core of our system, to bail out failed institutions and send wealth to those who have not earned it, destroys the entire system. And that's what's happening here. It's giant kickbacks back and forth from the regime to wealthy Democrats at these firms who are being bailed out. The money will keep circulating in the form of campaign donations. That's how it comes back. Obama can't let these people go under. They fund his existence. It would hurt the Democrat Party if these people went south. It's a fine line here. I know I'm sounding like class warfare, but what I'm saying is that this is about the Ivy League elites, not the rich per se. This is about a certain class of people protecting themselves. And the best way to protect themselves is to be in bed with Obama, in bed with the regime. Now, all of this I was pointing out in March of 2009, when I started wondering, is any of this real? This is about a certain segment of the rich protecting itself, protecting its political investment in Obama, Obama protecting their political investment in him. Let me tell you, these are the people who fund the Democrat Party. That's who's being bailed out. This March of 2009, I said this. Now we see that I, as usual, was right. These are the people who fund the Democrat Party. They live in Manhattan. They live in the Hamptons. They live on the main line in Philadelphia, giant penthouses, San Francisco, top Nob Hill. They live in Hollywood. They're the heart and soul of the Democrat Party. The really super rich parts of our country are heavily Democrat now. We don't begrudge them their wealth. We don't begrudge them their success. We're just pointing out here what's going on. It's made to look like we got to do this to save the country. We got to do this to save our financial system when it was about saving certain people. And Obama.